bringing it back.
I mean,
Bringing it back.
And a monster home run hit to a place I've never seen hit.
I think just popping.
Who would have thought hip hop would have made it this far?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Rob Duran Podcast. Fellas, it's been 4 weeks, but we here. What's going on, man?
Devastation.
Mm.
My man started off strong.
Yeah, just straight up
Dude, it's
devastation, bro.
Ain't no fluff, ain't no small talk. We here.
I guess that's the last time we spoke. We were like hype about the Knicks in the playoffs. They ended up beating the Pistons and had to play the Celtics, last year's champs. Beat them somehow. Then we had the Pacers, and it was a pretty competitive series, but we ended up losing in 6. And then today, we find out that the Knicks coach was fired, let go of his services, and I'm just like, WTF. And that's all I got, so I'm gonna pass it off to you guys.
I'll start off by saying I don't have much faith in the Knicks, not because of their talent, but because of their coach. Because he runs them to the ground. We saw him do it with the Bulls. So to me, I'm just like, yo, you're doing the same thing to this team. You got them playing 82 games, fucking 42 minutes a game. And then when the playoffs come around, every team adjusts to whatever it is your best thing is. They have a game plan for it. They can go and they can execute. I don't think they were going to make it past Boston. They got past Boston with grittiness, with just competitive, because that starting five, they play really well together. I like the starting five. It's just unrealistic how you end up playing them. When it came to the Pacers game, the Pacers scored 122 points in transition off turnovers. That's crazy. And the Knicks only scored 42. Regardless of that, the Knicks still outscored them in total points for the series itself. So it's like, you know, what's the difference? And then game one, pivotal ass game. I think Cesar was even talking about it. Like, whoever wins this one right here has the advantage. They can't let them win this one. And it's true. That gave them the confidence to go ahead out there and start playing these dudes like, yeah, we are better than you. And what was the reason for it? One player, Nate Smith, just dropping 3 after 3 after 3. No coaching adjustment, no different player. Yo, throw a different look at him. Throw some fresh legs at him. Yo, just don't make sure he doesn't catch the ball. After the second, third 3, it looks like he's catching fire. Yo, he's been doing this all game. Make an adjustment, make a coaching adjustment. No, you go out there with the same 5 that got you there. That's great and all, but these dudes is tired. Every basketball player does want to play 48 minutes. Nobody wants to sit out. However, the reason why the coach is there is to make adjustments and everything like that. It sucks that he did get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They have gotten better every year, but in the playoffs, you got to make adjustments. You got to make sure that you can get over that hump. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reference the Warriors when they were coached by Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson got fired, even though they were one of the best teams in the league. Steve Kerr took over and took them over that hump. Mark Jackson set it up. Steve Kerr took them over that hump, and they ended up winning a chip within like 2 years of him being there. So is it a bad move? We'll find out later on, but I personally like the fact that maybe the starting five is going to be able to get some rest, and they might actually be better in the playoffs next season.
Yeah, the Warriors point was the one I was thinking of. I'm not surprised that Tibbs got fired, honestly. I saw it coming the moment they lost to the Pacers. I thought anything short of a championship, he was gone. Because of that, because you kind of hit a ceiling at a certain point, and it's like, okay, how far can I go with this person? And you look at, like, for example, like the Yankees, their managers last 10 years. After 10 years, they switch it up. You got a new voice in the clubhouse, all that stuff. And Irv is right. Tibbs did a great job. He created a new culture, which the Knicks desperately needed. We know that. The Knicks were a laughingstock around the league. With Leon Rose in there, Jim Dolan kind of taking a step back for the most part. We don't hear about him as much. And then Tibbs, yeah, I love that too. Thank God. But Tibbs changed the culture there. And now that we have an established culture, the Knicks are like a respectable organization again. I think it is time for a new voice, a new outlook, somebody who can make adjustments. Because, bro, Neesmith should not be shooting that many threes. Throw PJ Tucker out there and get 3 fouls, knock him down, get a
Seriously.
flagrant, do whatever you gotta do, bro. I'm not advocating for hurting a player, but bro, something has to
stop.
change. Yes, something. You have to do something. And he didn't make adjustments that Pacers series. They gritted through the Celtics, even though they beat them in 6. Like, still, like, damn, bro. But who knows who's going to be the next coach? I don't think you make a move like this unless you have someone in mind and you've had that conversation already. Like, all right, this is the person I want to bring in. But the next coach has to go, has to play 9, 10 guys, not just 7 or 6. You know what I mean? So hopefully we see that the Knicks go over the hump, some similar to like the Warriors did.
Yeah, I think after game 1, I think that's when like the series was probably decided. And I think that also might have cost Tibbs his coaching job. Letting a collapse like that happen in game 1 when you guys were clearly the better team throughout the whole game, and y'all just let that game like just fall out of your laps in MSG. And you guys are known for winning these close games. You guys are known for closing out, for being good closers. Once Indiana they won that first game, they got their hearts right there. And honestly, last game, game 6, that was the most disappointing game. I was more disappointed in game 6 than I was in game 1 because Indiana they were the more aggressive team throughout the whole game from
They
start to
wanted him more.
finish. Yes, like you see how the Knicks came out on game 5, that they clearly wanted it more.
Exactly.
That team did not show up at all in game 6.
Exactly.
And I've never seen Brunson do a disappearing act in my life. So I mean, I'm gonna cut him some slack because that's the first time I've ever seen that. But obviously, Cat had his struggles. The whole team had their struggles. I was, it was very discouraging to see. And Irvin did mention that they were probably tired, and they did look tired. Tibbs actually started playing more players, I think, in game 4, if I'm not mistaken. I started seeing guys like Wright, Shamit, Campaign getting minutes. Like, he actually was forced to make adjustments at some point because the Indiana team was literally outpacing these dudes, and their style of play was so, it kind of forced you to. It was so relentless that it kind of forced them to make
And
adjustments.
shout out to game 5. I like the way game 5 was coached and played.
Yes,
I like the way game 5 was. The players had energy.
that was a perfect game.
Rotations. Shamit had a couple good plays. So I'm glad you brought that up because game 5, I can't take it away. But what the fuck are you doing going into game 6 and changing up the approach you had in game 5?
Yeah.
What? Like,
Yeah.
how does that make sense? How does that make sense? This doesn't fucking make sense.
Yeah.
Deflated the city. That loss.
Yeah, and they were shooting some weird, very, very questionable shots.
My man.
It was,
Had turnovers
it was
that were
bad.
just
Yeah, the
sloppy.
turnover it was very sloppy basketball.
And they're playing super physical on your best player. Yo, get physical with the other side too then. You guys are throwing bodies and bodies on Jalen Brunson. All right, now we're gonna do that to Tyrese. Tyrese wasn't facing nothing like that, son.
No.
Yo,
He
he was open a lot of the time.
where is
Actually,
he? And the job of the coach is to be like, timeout. Hey, yo, they're hounding Brunson. We need to make sure we're hounding him.
Yeah.
This. Do this. Make sure you do this. Because you're on the outside looking in, you should be able to tell them that. They're just out there playing the game. Now, if you tell them what to focus on, my man, where is that? Because I don't see it. Because if he does tell them and they go out and they do that bullshit they keep doing, then they're not listening to you. So you got to be switched out anyway.
Yeah, I feel like they should have definitely. One way they could have probably, even the score with them a bit more was maybe having Tyrese on a switch off against like an OG, for example, or Mikal Bridges, like forcing him to kind of like play defense and possibly get into foul trouble early. I think that would have done something because I think he got into foul trouble in Game 5 as well, Tyrese.
Yeah, he only had 8 points too.
Yeah, so they just
they did what they
had
had
to
to
like
do.
literally they had to attack. They had to attack him because he's the one that that gets the engine running for that team.
Right.
What do you guys think about Cat? There's a lot of rumors swirling that the Knicks should trade him, get rid of him.
I didn't like his defense like that.
I didn't like his defense either, but I think you have to keep this unit together.
No.
Cat was a mismatch in every possession. Every single possession on offense, he had a mismatch.
I think he was misused. I think he was misused. I mean, I even texted you guys because I'm here in New Hampshire, so I don't get to see Knicks games during the season as often. So I had to text y'all like, yo, am I missing something with Cat? Like, why is he not being the offensive force? Is he being like utilized wrong? Is this just yeah, like I'm watching the Knicks every single game in the playoffs now, and I'm seeing like Cat not being used the way I know Cat can be used.
Why didn't they do like more pick and roll them two, like Cat and Brunson?
I mean, this series was probably the best that they utilized Cat the whole season, I would say. Besides the Warriors game when he went at Draymond, but this series I like the way that they utilized Cat, and we got to see what Cat's potential is when he's playing that aggressive. I think in the Boston series he had a couple good games there as well, but he was a little inconsistent. As Roberto mentioned, he had like a few disappearing acts. In this series, he didn't really disappear that much. He just got into foul trouble and stuff like that. And I agree with Hasiel. His defense, especially in the perimeter, is very, very.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, like he loves to play drop coverage so much.
Yeah.
Why? This team is one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. Why are you dropping on this man? Go up to him and trust your teammates. That's why Mitchell Robinson is starting in the game, because we have some people that can play defense. OG, Mikal Bridges, they get paid for this stuff. So just, trust your teammates. And if you get bopped, it's okay. We all gonna get bopped. Everybody's nasty in the NBA. But just you gotta play better defense up top, or else he's gonna be a liability on that side of the court.
If I'm the Knicks, I'll probably try to trade him for Giannis or KD.
I mean, that's like the only guy that I would probably maybe consider it, but I don't know. I kind of like how the Knicks are built right now.
I think they're solid, man.
I think they could run it back, just use the bench more.
That's what they need. They need some guys on the bench because they're going to let go of the guys who are on the 1-year deals, I'm sure, to save cap room and stuff like that. But you got to have a bench.
Yeah.
You don't trade it away. Your problem is not the starting five.
Yes.
Like, you get exhausted. You have no support. You go ahead and you sign yourself a player like maybe Austin Reeves. I think he's a free agent coming up. Dip into the luxury, that's fine. But you sign him, and then now you have versatility coming off the bench or starting, whatever it is, whatever rotation going to come through. You got Josh Hart coming into the game because Austin Reeves got to start in that case. Now you got that spark coming through, but you need a coach that's going to be willing and able to try different lineups throughout the season. You have to do that, throw different looks, what works, what doesn't work. Let's figure this team out in its entirety. And he wasn't doing that. Cat should not be traded. And if you're going to go get a Giannis, you think they're going to allow a Cat Giannis direct swap? Nah. We're trading picks. We're trading.
And the Knicks don't have picks to trade.
Nah. I saw like a mock trade that was out there. Nah, don't keep this team the way it is. Add a piece or two and make sure the coach is able to actually make in-game adjustments. This team is all right. Stop getting crazy. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. It's not easy. I know that for a period of time, there was a dude out east that made it seem like this shit was a regular thing and it was easy to do, but this shit is not easy, son. Different champions every single time to the finals the last like 5-6 years. This shit is not easy. You need continuity. You need a program. You need continuation with players and a continued core to make it and cohesiveness. Don't fucking panic. Don't get rid of him. Leave it alone.
Well said.
I mean, there's living proof in the team that beat the Knicks. They're a team that's been together. They failed. They got beat up. They got smacked around, and now they're in the NBA
And
Finals
who's
facing
on the other side? The same damn
OKC,
thing.
another team. Exactly.
Culture. Who made it the year before? The Denver Nuggets. Wasn't it the Denver Nuggets? And then you got Boston. Like the teams that are actually making it over there are holding on to what they have. They're not just panicking and be like, that's it, and blowing the shit up. You don't do that.
Yeah.
So on
No.
that topic, let's jump in. NBA
Mhm.
Finals. Pacers, OKC. Two very good teams, two very young teams. Great talent on both sides.
The best offense versus the best defense, and statistically this year.
Oh wow.
You want to know what it took for the Pacers to get out there? Now you're going to hear some real hater shit. You want to know what it took for the Pacers to get out there, son? Injury after injury and circumstance and this and that. Yo, these dudes are not OKC in 5, and I'm being generous here, little gentleman sweep. OKC in 5. SGA he was just crowned the MVP. They know they got the better team. That team is young and actually poor.
It's scary, bro.
They're on a string. And these dudes, they're like, yo, you know what? Let's just take over, yo. We already make enough money. And they decide to stay together. Be careful, son. Be careful. What organization, what moves they pulled off to get this team going.
Sam Preston.
I didn't think they were going to beat Denver. They got me wrong because I thought they were too young. They were 1 year away. I spoke my shit, but they proved me wrong, and they are ready, son. Tyrese is gonna have a hard time. I saw a stat today. Last thing I'll say, head to head, Tyrese and Shai. Tyrese is averaging 11 points a game. Shai's averaging 39 in head to head things against these teams. And Tyrese, his field goal percentage is like 20% lower than Shai's. So that just means that Shai is busting the Pacers' ass. And OKC is locking up Tyrese crazy. Are they a better matchup? Yes, but I still got OKC winning in 5, B.
I'm gonna
I'll
be
be
real.
shocked at 6, but I think they're winning it all.
I had OKC winning regardless if it was Knicks or Pacers. And it's just that team, I don't know if they have a weakness at this point in time. The way they've been playing, they're hungry, bro. They know what they want, they know what they're capable of, and they're showing it. Simple as that. Short, sweet, and to the point, man. OKC in 5.
Yeah. I got OKC in 5 too, and I want them to win. So yeah.
It's a great reason, bro. I got OKC in 5, and I
And
want
now
them
they
to
got a
win.
squad. Everybody knows they got a squad. Yeah, I basically said it.
SGA is here.
Yeah,
man.
they got the MVP. My man makes it look so easy, and it's not. But he makes it look so easy, and he gets fouled a lot, so he's always at the free throw line. Like it just reminds me of like a mixture of like a Dwayne Wade, but just more efficient. I don't know if it makes sense. Just like the way he's been playing and getting to the line and just scoring and making sure the team's winning. Like I don't.
Wow. Damn. Out of respect for Indiana, I've been,
Out of respect for Indiana.
I have a lot of respect for Aaron Nesmith. If that dude is healthy, I think he's gonna give Shea a hard time and make life difficult on him. Pascal Siakam with his playoff experience, championship experience. I think the Indiana might be able to pull off an upset, just like in the beginning of the series, because they've been doing very well with these close games. Like they've been stealing these games a lot, and I think they might steal at least one game against OKC, and then they might just win one more in Indiana. But then I feel like OKC is gonna catch some sort of momentum because to me they are the deeper team. They do have the better player, the better superstar player in Shea. They arguably have the better second best player in the series in Jalen Williams. He's been balling. I think his confidence after Game 7 in that Denver series, he's been a man possessed. He's been playing possessed on both ends of the floor. Caruso is gonna make life hell on Haliburton.
Oh
hell.
yeah.
Both these teams love to play fast. It's funny. Like they both like to play fast. They're both physical. Miles Turner, that matchup with Hartenstein is gonna be, interesting. Like I think Miles Turner might decide whether or not how far Indiana might go on this series because I think he can hit some big time shots over Hartenstein at least. Because Hartenstein is not he's not like known for his perimeter defense like that. And Miles Turner also got to catch some damn rebounds as well. Can't have Hartenstein having these 6-5 offensive rebounds a game, or else they're gonna get blown out. I know I ranted a little bit, but I don't see Indiana winning this series. I'm not gonna say they don't have no shot at winning. I just feel like OKC is just a superior team. And yeah, OKC in 6.
So what chances do you give the Indiana Pacers of winning?
What chances?
Yeah.
We'll go
No
7.
chance. That's what you got. You fucking ain't beating these Knicks.
I would say like 70-30.
You have a 30%
I'll follow
chance.
this up. I'll follow that question up. What has to happen? What has to go right for Indiana for them to win this series?
So they have to definitely win.
Not counting injuries, obviously.
So they have to win. They have to steal one in OKC in the first 2 games.
How are they doing that?
Probably
What they
game
got
1.
to do in game? Is that what you asking, Roberto?
OKC has to have like a really
At what
bad
game
shooting
plan
night or
what got to
something.
happen in game?
In game, they
win
have
that game because I don't see it.
They got to keep the game close towards the end, and there needs to be some sort of heroics from somebody, either Siakam, either Haliburton, or either Neesmith. Somebody got to do some wild shit for them to steal.
Lou Dort.
Lou Dort is amazing. He's amazing.
They're getting clamped, bro. I don't see heroics happening against this team.
Hey, listen, man. Weirder shit has happened in these playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see.
But you're telling me, okay, because we're talking about winning the series here, right? You give them a 30% chance of winning the series, and Roberto's asking, what do they have to do to win 4 games against OKC?
So, like I said, they have to win, or like they have to steal a game and take OKC's hearts a little bit. Like similar to how they did to the Knicks, they got to do that to OKC. Like OKC needs to choke.
Yeah, for real.
Like they
I
need
think
to.
Indiana, to have a shot, they need to go up 2-0 right off the bat.
Okay.
Just like they did with the Knicks.
I think if they don't go up 2-0, they're done for.
Yeah, but what are the chances of them going up 2-0 are so astronomically low. They're going over to OKC. And they haven't had a finals in 12, 13 years. But they tasted it. And this is a young franchise. It's a young team. They're going in there and playing with so much urgency, so much adrenaline. I don't see if I'm going to play this devil's advocate game, not just one person needs to have heroics. That whole team needs to have heroics. Like,
yeah, Miles Turner has to hit his.
They're capable though.
0 turnovers from. If Tyrese somehow manages to duplicate that game in Game 4 that he had, that stat line is one of the most impressive stat lines I've ever seen, ever.
And he has to do it 4 times.
There was a game though
to play at that level, because if you saw that game, the way they played that game, how they got their points, everybody was cutting, like it was nice. It was a masterpiece. And like Cesar said earlier, that team runs how he runs. If he's excelling like that, I could see that. But do I see him being able to do that 4 times? Do I see Siakam being able to average close to 30 4 times?
Benedict Mathurin has to average 7 free throws a game.
Who are you talking about?
Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, Mathurin. Yo, that he gets every call, son. He gets every call. I'm dead serious. He slipped, fell, tripped Josh Hart, and Josh Hart Hogan leg dropped him, and he got the call.
who gets all the calls? OKC or Indiana? Who gets more calls?
It's gonna be
Matter
OKC most likely.
against NBA, bro.
With the
I hate
MVP
that.
especially now.
But that'll be an interesting question. SGA is good on the line for 9.
Yeah.
But he gets his buckets. The reason why I don't mind that whole free throw merchant shit is because he's using the rules for it. And regardless, if you're not following him, if he's just allowed to just go and you're really not following him, he's gonna just
score more.
not miss.
Yeah.
He's gonna score even more, which
He's
is
gonna
crazy.
exactly. So like, what is this argument? What is this argument? Because if they're really not following him, that boy's gonna average 55. B. So I don't see what the difference is. B.
I think the Pacers, like their starting 5, will have to all have double digits points and maybe even be like in the 20s. I remember they had a game. I forgot against who it was, but like their starting 5 all had like 20 points. The Pacers. So they would have to have like a game like that to have a shot, I think, at the series.
And when we
Game or
talking
two.
about
NBA 2K. At this
yeah,
point.
basically, we saying like we're controlling Tyrese Haliburton. That's just why the chances of them winning, they have to be like so low. Like if you gave them a 30% chance, then we might have to throw $100 on the Pacers to win the series just because the odds are gonna be crazy, son. But I just don't see it
For real.
at all. OKC plays so dominant, so confident.
Insert your prize pick ad here. Bet on the Pacers to win type shit.
It is good. I don't know how you go against that OKC team. I don't know what they got to do. I'm all for an underdog story, but this shit is different.
Yeah, like when was like the last team you ever thought was clearly the favorite and not win it? Cause like they got the MVP, they had the best record, they had the best defense.
Which one of us thought the Pacers would make it to the finals?
They kind of bluffed their way through though, cause they played a number 1 seed and they were kind of injured. The Cleveland Cavaliers.
Cavs are injured. Knicks exhausted. Who they play in the second round? The Bucks. The Bucks didn't have Lillard.
Yeah, so they kind of like.
That's another thing, yeah. Because we might have seen a really good team for the circumstances they were in, but I just don't see them being able to have that kind of game with a healthy OKC team.
I mean, these two teams have had the best record since January. So
That's true.
I don't think it's a fluke. I just think Indiana started very slow, and they were a false 4. I would say I didn't see them as the 4th best team in the East. Did I see them beating Cleveland? No, I did not see that. But I wasn't surprised when they beat the Knicks. They beat the Knicks last year, and they got better this year. They added more pieces. They got Neesmith. They got they have another year together. So this Indiana team, we might be overlooking them just a little bit, but I still don't think that they have enough to. I would favor OKC.
Nobody thought they were gonna win in any series. If they end up winning the finals,
I saw them beating Milwaukee.
They have to win game 1, yo, to stand a chance, I think.
Yeah, they will have to steal game 1 or game 2, whichever one. They just have to steal one game, OKC, and the whole tides of the series could change.
I think first game's tomorrow, Thursday night, right?
Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night. That's a long break too for OKC. They got like damn near 2 weeks off or something. Compared to the Pacers, they probably got like a week. OKC was chilling. That's another thing. They might come in a little rusty, no momentum.
I don't know. I don't believe in that shit too much.
Where they could have been training like crazy those last 2 weeks, just building up that momentum.
Yeah, they'll be rusty the first 3 minutes. After that, they'll be good. It was like getting on a bike.
Yeah, I kind of hope they win though. Fuck the Pacers. I'm upset. Just the way that trickled out.
Not
Imagine
to
New York
switch-
in the finals right now, bro.
I mean, I've said it forever. The Knicks keep the lights on in the city. They're the only New York basketball team besides the Liberty. So, because I don't count Brooklyn, they're from New Jersey.
They are. They should have just stayed in New Jersey. I don't associate them with Brooklyn really.
The New York Rangers is an honorable mention. They play in MSG and they're pretty good. Yeah, but any last thoughts on the finals?
OKC in 5.
AC in 5. Free Shannon.
I hope it's like competitive though, not like blowout games.
It's gonna be good games. They're gonna be running up and down. They're gonna play tough defense.
Oh yeah, Indiana's exciting to watch.
Yeah.
OKC
It's gonna be. This is gonna be an exciting finals. I don't want that like basketball wise.
Yeah,
It's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah, there'll be some shit talking.
a lot of it. That's good for the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope the refs put the whistle down. Let these boys play that game. Let them talk their shit, bro. Let them push each other. Let them. They not fighting, bro. They're not fighting. Let them do what they're doing. Leave them alone. Let them do it.
I think for like pure basketball lovers, like the game of basketball, they would definitely love just like watching these two teams play each other. Like the way they orchestrate their offense and play hard.
It's nice. It's entertaining.
I'm gonna segue real quick before we wrap up on the pod, because I do want to talk about Aaron Judge real quick.
Go for it.
Man.
I need people to shut up about this MVP debate right now.
Mm.
And I know we're not even at the All-Star break, but the man is putting up numbers that we haven't seen ever. Maybe Barry Bonds in, I don't even know what year, bro. Maybe 2004, 2001. This man is he's hitting 387 now, so he's slumping right now.
It was like
My man
390
dropped
something
under
last week, right?
What a
391 yesterday.
Yeah, he was hitting 412 2 weeks ago. He's in a slump. He's in a slump.
But
Yeah.
besides that, he's hitting
He leads
like
the
20
league in
something home runs.
21 home runs. So he's, I think, third in the league behind Ohtani and Cal Riley, who's a great player. And I hate when people try to debate like, oh, Jake Peavy could shut up, because he was the one on MLB Network talking about Aaron Judge doesn't deserve the MVP. I don't like when people do that, because then it makes me talk bad about players that are actually really good that I like. But Aaron Judge is putting up historic numbers. He leads the league in hits. He leads the league in average. All of baseball, not just the American League. Third in the MLB in home runs. I think he leads the league in RBI. It's not a debate, man. We need to let it go. I think Aaron Judge, as crazy as it's going to sound, is an underrated player in baseball. And I think it's because people are so used to seeing this level of production from him, even though he's taking it to another level, because he's not just going to hit 60 home runs. Now he's going to hit 350 plus for this season, which
That's
is
so crazy.
It's
If
crazy.
he actually hits that,
And to hit 350
is insane.
He can have
50
like
home
a
runs.
triple crown type season.
But 350 with that production is insane.
And to lead the league in hits.
Because if you're talking about if he's hitting 350, then you can assume that like, yo, he might be hitting 75 home runs, B. Because if his average is up at 350 for the year.
And something that people don't realize about Aaron Judge, he's not a pull hitter. For a dude that size, you would think he pulls all his home runs. He hits them joints the other way. Like, that's his bread and butter, bro. He's an inside out. He's going to hit the other way. You pitch him wherever you're going to pitch him, he's making contact. He's on an Ichiro type pace, batting wise, a slugging type pace on like Barry Bonds. Like, I don't think people realize what the hell we're watching, bro.
And we're winning games. Top of all that. So
That's
Listen, Otani's great, bro. And people are going to call me ridiculous for saying it, but Otani's a DH. He's a great DH. He's a great hitter. Aaron Judge is the best baseball player on the planet. And there's not a debate.
I can agree with that. 100%.
well said. I I can't say none. Otani hasn't thrown a pitch in 3 years.
And the man can field, B. And he got a cannon, B. Stop playing
Gold Glove right fielder.
with a cannon, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all
And
done. I'm all done.
it's not no slouch on defense either, B.
Nah, he's not. He's not a slouch at all.
That man is OD.
Yeah, I think he's trying to prove like the haters wrong this year, maybe. Like that, especially that Juan Soto, Aaron Judge debate. He's killing that debate.
And
right
Judge
now.
doesn't really have this like crazy protection in the lineup. Big G has not been playing.
Mm.
He doesn't have protection in the lineup like that. I'm all done. That's all I had to
that
say.
ring. He needs
Yes.
that ring.
He needs the ring. The
Once
Yankees
he
need
gets
to.
that ring. That's this season.
If I'm Brian Cashman, bro, I'm like this right now. Do. Arizona, what up? Zach Gallen, Suarez, what you need?
Mm.
That's it. That's a World Series right there.
What would you give up for him?
I mean, you're buying low, I think, on Zach Gallen because he's struggling this year. But I think he's a mechanical tweak away from being dominant. And the Yankees have the perfect pitching coach in place in Matt Blake to kind of tweak that up and lock him in. You don't have to give up some big prospects for that. You could probably do a Vivas who was up and just got sent down. I think he's like their number 7 prospect, if I'm not mistaken. You probably throw in a couple pitching prospects. I think that'll get it done because they're both on. Suarez is a free agent after this year, and he's not like gonna light it up. He's not a crazy, but he's good enough. He's the right-handed bat that they need. Yeah, man. I think you give him a top 10 prospect, top 7 prospect, a couple pitching prospects, maybe 2 top 20s, top 7, top 20, and then an A-ball dude with potential. That might do it.
So you don't even sacrifice anything on the team, right?
Yeah, you're not giving up anything major,
Mm.
especially the way Gallen has been struggling this year. And Suarez being a rental, essentially. You fill the hole at third, you get that starting pitcher to kind of keep things moving. The way Rodon has been pitching, the way Fried has been pitching like a Cy Young contender. Schmidt doing his thing. Man.
Oh yeah, I like this Yankees team. I
They're
do.
good. They're dynamic.
Yeah.
Jazz is back. They just got to get rid of LeMahieu. He paid his dues. He did his thing when he was healthy and doing good, but now he's washed.
They got a good mix of like young and seasoned veterans.
They do, but they got to move Jazz back to second because when you had Volpe, Jazz, and then Bellinger up the middle, that's elite defense up the middle, and you need that.
Why don't they
especially in
have it
October.
like that?
Because LeMahieu's back, so they moved Jazz over to third because of the injuries.
Oh, okay.
But you got to have Jazz at second. Him and Volpe up the middle, man, is elite defense.
It's like remnants of Cano and Jeter almost. We got this. Yankees is nice.
OKC in 5.
Yeah, Aaron Judge is probably gonna win another MVP as long as it continues.
He will, unless the media gets that fatigue, which they got with LeBron. They got, it just happens. You're too good for too long, so the media wants to vote for somebody else. It's okay. We know who he is.
Yeah. He knows who he is.
All right. On that note, fellas.
Till next
OKC in
time.
5.
Word. Thank you for having us or watching us. Please share, like, and subscribe.
Peace out.
In 5.
Thank you for watching the Rob Duran Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you episodes every week.